How's it going, you guys? I am David Barrie.
And I'm Augustine Antwi.
And welcome to the movie edition of Super Comics Smash Up.
Termination.
So, this week we are talking about movies upcoming and throughout the year, calendar 2015, so on and so forth. We're going to start with the one that's coming up very shortly here, and that is
Age of Ultron!
Avengers Age of Ultron, which comes out May 1st, starring all the same people that we know are already in it. So, what are we looking forward to?
Alright, so last time I did this video a year and a half ago, people got mad because I was too harsh. Now, Age of Ultron, first movie off the bat, A+, is gonna knock out every single record set for days, months, minutes. It's gonna break all of it. We already know that.
Even Furious 7?
Even Furious 7, because guess what? Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver combined is worth at least $150 million right there.
That's true.
At least.
They are not mutants, though.
They're miracles.
They are miracles.
Because Fox owns the word mutants. Yeah, thank you, Fox. You're great. What else are you gonna ruin for us?
Well, you know. At least they have rights to the characters now. Like I said, not as mutants, not as Magneto's children, but they will be in the movie, even though it seems like Quicksilver has an odd accent from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, one cool thing I like is though his costume, unlike Days of Future Past, he has more of a makes sense in the moment costume where it's like, hey, I'm a fast guy when we're a tracksuit.
As opposed to just silver goggles and a silver jacket, which, you know, makes sense for
I mean, if you want to sell the name of Quicksilver, you got to kind of shoehorn it in there a little bit.
That kind of made sense. So we're also going to see in this movie, we've seen in the previews, we've got a Hulkbuster costume for Iron Man. Hulk versus Iron Man duking out in the streets. We don't know why, who's turning on who why.
Ooh, can I give a little spoiler?
What? I mean,
all right. Spoiler alert, or as he would say...
Statute of limitations. Well, it hasn't come out yet, so statute of limitations doesn't count.
Okay, so if you don't hear anything spoilerific, close your ears and mute the video. Apparently, the Hulk armor is circling around Bruce Banner on a satellite in low orbit. Whenever Bruce goes crazy, it comes down, Tony gets in it, beats down the Hulk. It makes sense because wherever the Hulk goes crazy at, you want to have something immediately there to kick his ass with.
Insurance.
So it's insurance, kind of like State Farm.
Do the jingle! Do the jingle! Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there!
State Farm.
I think we're good.
Cost a fortune. And then the other spoiler is that Scarlet Witch is the one controlling the Hulk. Because remember in the first trailer, his eyes were somewhat red. That's her trademark hex power. So when he has his red eyes, he's being controlled, and so he goes batshit crazy, and that's why the Avengers come down to come beat his ass to get him in line. And apparently, Bruce Banner helps create the Hulkbuster.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so he gives his friend the right to beat his ass.
Yeah. Well, and we've
Kind
seen...
of like us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We've seen recently, and this doesn't make sense, in the comic books, Bruce Banner working closely with S.H.I.E.L.D., basically giving them the rights to use his episodes to destroy and do damage to villains, but also in exchange giving them technology. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. Tony and Bruce hanging out, building stuff, but they also, you know, just in case, have a Hulkbuster ready. So July 1st, we have Terminator Genesis. Terminator franchise is back, covering once again the events of Judgment Day, again, along with some time travel, again, and Arnold is back, again.
As you can see, the plot line of this movie is again and again and again. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit skeptical about, Judgment Day was their best entry in the franchise. Why would you go back to Judgment Day and redo your gem?
I believe there's a term for it. What's it called? Money. I think money is the term that we're looking
S
for.
dollar sign
The
thing.
big...
The ching ching, okay.
Exactly. I think it's like you said, playing off the success, but also taking the idea and the character from Judgment Day and being the T-1000 and giving it a modern CGI look so that it can do a little bit more, and giving Arnold back his role as the Terminator, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I know people aren't a big fan, but I thought Salvation was a pretty solid movie just because it finally got away from modern day. It finally got away from just continuously doing the story of Sarah and John Connor. And the only time Arnold was there was the one scene where he does battle with the Terminator as it comes off a manufacturing line. I liked Salvation. I like the actors that they've got for Genesis. I know, Matt Smith is in there. The Queen of Dragons is in there too.
Daenerys?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I never heard that.
She's Sarah Connor. And then I'm not gonna see it in theaters. I'm gonna see it
Probably on
eventually.
HBO.
Yeah, when it comes on HBO, I'll probably watch it. I'll probably enjoy it. I mean, I'm not hard to please. I like the Transformer movies.
Damn, that's a very low.
I mean, I
low bar.
don't like the stories. I just like the movies. So
So
along
you like
the same
watching
line.
metal roll around?
Exactly.
Color?
Yeah, I like cars transforming into robots. That's cool. So, I mean, Arnold flying around as an ancient robot might be kind of cool too.
That's my biggest pet peeve is how do the robot age?
Because they got a nervous system and skin and blood on him so that the machine can send him back in time. So that ages over time in theory.
But so when you're doing time travel, there's this one paradox that you always explain. This already happened in Judgment Day. Apparently, so is there like a split in the timeline?
Of course.
Because if it is, that explains why the T-1000, that's the one of the metal alloyed
the
one.
liquid
Now
metal.
he's Asian.
That's true. They've created a different timeline. Maybe Arnold's Terminator went back even further on accident and has just been waiting, lying in wait. Who knows?
Apparently, he was saying I'll be back for a long time.
A long time. So we'll figure that out on July 1st. And I guess we're, giving these ratings before they come out. I'm going to give it a C-.
Yeah, it's probably going to be doing okay for the action. The story is so flimsy you don't even bother listening to the actual dialogue. I give it probably a C minus for watchability, story-wise, and F. Welcome back, Arnie. How's your housemate?
Looking forward to the next Conan.
Oh, they're still making it, huh? All right, up next we have AntMan coming out July 17th. Now, already there's a big plot hole because Hank Pym, one, doesn't create Ultron, but apparently he's already been Ant-Man before. So it means before Iron Man 1, he was already Ant-Man, so where the hell has he been for the past, God knows what, 7 movies?
And as we've seen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel has a really good way of having a grand scheme of things. We know that Ant-Man probably isn't going to be involved in the Avengers, Ant-Man being Scott Lang, but we know that Marvel doesn't really like to leave too many big plot holes, leave too many stones unturned. So there's probably an explanation, an answer. He was involved somehow. Maybe he was involved, in the events that occurred prior to the Iron Man films. It was just too small for anyone to notice.
Or did Hank Pym kill off Tony Stark's dad?
Well, we know that was Hydra, so.
Well, what if Hank Pym was Hydra? One thing we do know, though, is that the movie is apparently a heist-based movie with Scott Lang being a former criminal, getting recruited by Hank Pym to go steal back his suit from the current owner of his company, who is then going to turn into Yellow Jacket. Which is... Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like other than that, we don't have too much.
There really isn't much in the movie else that we do know. T.I. is in the movie, because that's always worth mentioning.
It's true.
Rappers turn actors, because same skill set, right?
I feel like there's just a lot of attempts to make this movie a little more standalone, and we'll see how successful that actually is come July 17th. I personally, I'm super excited for it. I don't care what anyone says, whether or not it has the connection, making Hank Pym already exist or not create Ultron. I'm okay with it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna give it a B+.
Whoa, man! On such thin veneer of information you know about this movie, a B+.
We're giving an Age of Ultron an A, and we haven't even seen it yet.
Because it's Ultron and it's Marvel. This is untested territory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a slight C+ because I feel like Ant-Man might turn into Thor, where we like him, but he doesn't have any big moments where we go we want to see more of you. He's just gonna be there. And is he gonna grow bigger, or is he always gonna shrink? Because if he always shrinks,
How useful
you won't
is he
see
gonna
him in any of the movies because he'd be so small the camera wouldn't pick him up.
be? There we go. And coming August 7th, the movie voted most likely to piss off fanboys, and that is the Fantastic Four reboot, relaunch, rehash, whatever.
Do-over. Okay, so once again, spoiler alert, but apparently Sue and Johnny are adopted siblings. Johnny's dad accidentally kills Sue's dad in an experiment, and thus Johnny's dad's feeling sorry for Sue, adopts her, and now they form their brother-sister dynamic off an adopted relationship. Can it still work? It probably works, but as a diehard reader, you really want them to be brother-sister by blood, but I'll let it be.
I think that's more the point that you're making, is it's about blood, not race. Because everyone who says, oh, Johnny can't be black, it's not that Johnny can't be black, it's the idea that they're not blood, which really, I mean, I know plenty of adopted family members who are extremely close, but the idea was that they were always so close, being brother and sister, which a lot of people are concerned about. I'm more concerned about this whole movie being a massive pile of trash altogether. But, you know, everyone's pretty excited that it's the darker take and it follows more of the ultimate Fantastic Four and the Thing doesn't wear pants, so...
How are they gonna handle his junk, by the way?
He's probably gonna have like a rock plate.
Oh yeah, that covers it, right?
His rock junk. I don't know. I personally have said on many different episodes of this and my podcast and just Facebook posts.
Capeless Crusaders, do listen.
I am not interested in this movie. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go to the midnight showing, of course. That's what I do. But based on everything I have seen, I am not at all interested or excited in this movie.
You're gonna give Fox money on the first day of their pile of trash?
They're gonna make it no matter what, so who cares?
Okay, one thing I do want to emphasize is they gotta put on some sort of cohesive uniform at one point or another, because walking around looking like scrap dolls with just random things on, Johnny has an actual suit for his powers. Sue just wears black because apparently black can disappear.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right? And then Mr. Fantastic just has on a freaking spacesuit because that stretches, right? So hopefully they do it right. We don't know.
We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna give it a C-, just for entertainment value, because I love watching a train wreck.
F. Fantastic.
Knee slapper there, buddy.
So, lastly, in this episode, December 18th, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
And boy, does it awaken.
Now, this one, I can also say, similar to Age of Ultron, with the little that we've seen, I'm already going to give it an A+, and I'm already excited for it. I have no negative thing to say about it in any way, shape, or form. I am excited, beyond excited, to see everything Star Wars that is coming out of what Disney is doing. That being said, I'm worried that they're just going to run it into the ground, but for now, I'm happy.
Okay, so to kind of piggyback on your point of running into the ground, we're going to see Episode 7 end somewhere with the old generation passing off to the new generation. And then Disney, being Disney, is going to say, okay, a bunch of one-shots and spin-off movies. That's where your run to the ground part is going to come in. They're going to do a bunch of, what's the right word for this? Is there it's not a backstory or a backlog of characters. It's more like their adventures away from everybody else. And they're gonna crank those out like crazy.
Extended universe.
And boy, is it gonna extend your pocket, because you're gonna see a new movie come out almost every 3 months. Either a Marvel or a Star Wars movie after Episode 7.
If you're already a Star Wars fan, you're used to this. You're used to buying book after book after comic book after comic book after action figure of characters that you've never seen on the screen before, stories you've never seen on the screen before, story they have no idea if the creative team actually has any involvement in, but you love it, so you're probably going to be excited about it. Quality control might be lessened, but then again, there are plenty of Star Wars comics and plenty of Star Wars books and plenty of Star Wars video games that weren't really that good in the grand scheme of things. So we have all the money that we need behind it with the power of Disney. That being said, they want to get all that money back and then, you know, double it, triple it, quadruple it in the grand scheme of things. So 100% not sure if it's going to be the best thing ever, but you know what? I'm excited for it.
You know what's funny? They had a blueprint to do all of these called the books and comics that they discontinued and uncanonized them. If you canonize those books into your new universe, you could just have a backlog of stories to tell that would have already known to be vetted and good.
We'll see. That being said, the books weren't all that great. The extended universe wasn't always fantastic. So just the same way comic book movies, we're getting inundated with them. But comic book readers, we're used to that. We're used to getting a dozen titles a week, and maybe 2/3 of them are going to suck one week, and maybe all of them are going to be great the next week, and maybe all of them are going to suck the week after. And that's what we
if we're
do.
reading all the New 52 stuff, yeah.
Conversions, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So this idea of inundation, when it comes to comic book readers, we're used to that. You know, even the independent creators are inundating us at this point. Like Image Comics and Boom and Dynamite, they're all coming out with title after title after title, and they're great, and I'm reading them, but there's a lot. There's a lot of content out there, and the same thing's going to happen with Star Wars, the same thing's going to happen with DC and Marvel and everything in between. But you know what? It's a really good time to be a fan of those different universes, because you're going to get a lot of content. It's not going to be hard. You're not going to have to write your own stories unless you want to. You can actually go out and find them. That being said, you can write your own stories, and there's a much larger audience that'll be interested in seeing them. But at the same time, how much is that going to limit creativity? I guess is kind of a question that people are going to ask.
You already know it's going to limit it like crazy, because once the story starts rolling, they already have a blueprint. I'm pretty sure they have Kevin Feige writing the Star Wars universe, because you know Kevin Feige, he will plan things 50 years down the road, and no one knows about it but him. And every movie comes out, he kind of gives a bit of this little plan. They have a whole plan for Star Wars already set. They haven't told us that, but they already have 8 and 9 already figured out.
That's cool.
Now, what they do with it, skeptical, but dang it, I'm going to see each and every one of them. Midnight showing?
Actually, I'm going to go to the 7 o'clock showing, and then go to the midnight showing after that.
I'm hanging out with you when that movie comes out.
Here we go.
All right, we have one special one. This is not in 2015, but Deadpool is literally right at the tip of 2016. So,
so we know it has been confirmed. It is going to be rated R.
There may be a billion reasons to make a family-friendly movie, as in sequels and toys. And listen, Ryan, if you...
You, Slater. April Fools. Deadpool will, of course, be rated R. It's okay, Jesse. Slater can't hurt you anymore.
yes.
The costume looks like it's straight out of the comic books.
And you, Slater.
Ryan Reynolds has a really messed up looking face in the set photos we've seen so far. A lot of scarring going on in his face.
He looks like Jason Statham a little bit with scarring on.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird.
So basically,
you sure it's him, not Jason?
I'm not actually 100% sure. But we do know that we're getting a true to the books Deadpool so far, which is really exciting. We have nothing else really to go on except for costume and what Ryan Reynolds is saying. But right now, that's enough for me. Because Fox apparently has realized that the closer they stick to the original content, the happier the fans are going to be.
It only took like, what, 12 years?
And 16 different movies that went down the shitter. Moving on.
X3.
I'm excited about Deadpool. Augustine is excited about Deadpool. Trevor is excited about Deadpool. You should be excited about Deadpool. So, besides all the upcoming movies, we are also smack dab in the middle of our Indiegogo campaign to get reality comics off the ground, up and running, but we still need your help. We need you, we need your friends, we need your family, we need everybody possible that you know to join the campaign on Indiegogo. We've got the link down below. We're going to create this community of comic fans, comic creators, and comic sellers so that you can better get the content that you love. But like I said, we need a lot of help to do it, so we need you to join. Augustine will do whatever it takes to get you there, including allow you to eat sushi off of his naked body. I mean,
was that part of the plan?
That's part of the plan for the really, really, high donators.
If you want to do it, let's do it. We can add it to the actual rewards list if someone wants to eat sushi off of me.
You heard it here first, folks.
Breaking news, apparently.
The CEO of Reality Comics will allow you to eat sushi off of his naked body if you donate $7 million to our campaign.
I thought it was 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7.
All right, hey,
Well,
sounds good with me.
We gotta sanitize a lot of surfaces to get there.
It's not that much body mass. Anyways, while you're helping us promote our campaign, go on Google Play Store and look up Reality Comics Campaign. That is our companion to our alpha build of the current platform.
If you haven't, got an Android and you're looking for an iOS version of our app, we are working on it currently.
It should be up in about 2 weeks on the App Store.
So we'll have it in the App Store, we'll have it in Google Play. You can go to our website, you can go to our Facebook, our Twitter, check us out, share it, tell your friends, so on and so forth. For Reality Comics, my name is David Barrie.
I'm Augustine Antwi.
We will see you next time.